Welcome to this Right Now News Special Report. I'm Anthony Martinez, and we're outside City Hall where demonstrators protested minutes ago, and now a council meeting taking place inside. This comes as attention is drawn as people in the community protest against ICE and their policies. Dozens of protesters gathered Wednesday afternoon in the city of Indio for a peaceful march calling for change to immigration enforcement and greater accountability from federal authorities. The demonstration, known as ICE Out of Indio, began near 45th Street and Jackson Street, where community members assembled before marching roughly 1 mile to City Hall. Organizers encouraged residents to participate both in the march and later during the public hearing at the city council meeting. The protests come amid increased immigration and custom enforcement activities across the Coachella Valley under the Trump administration, which has prompted growing concerns and fear among immigrant families and advocates in the region. Organizers described the event as a show of solidarity for community members who feel unsafe and unheard. We spoke with one of the event's organizers about the purpose of the demonstration and why they felt it was important to mobilize the community ahead of the council meeting.
Yeah, I'm actually one of the main organizers, part of a collective of groups and individuals who are just very concerned about what's happening in our community. I am born and raised in the Valley. I went to Indio High School, graduated in 08. I've lived here my whole life. And I think this is a moment where we've had instances in the past of collective organizing was necessary, but this one just seems so drastically and terrifyingly urgent. I've told City Council public comment tonight, I've never been more scared for my city or my country my whole life. And I think this is just one of those things that we have the power to do right now. This is just a start, but we have the capacity to facilitate change. Today was about, one, showing our First Amendment rights through protests and marching. The second was activating our paid for official practices of expressing the rights, which is through public comment. Public comment is a very great tool we have as residents to officially put on record our grievances, our concerns, our questions to City Council, put it on record, make them face it, and make them kind of, for lack of a better word, take it, because they can't, cut us off. They have to listen to us. That was the goal of combining those two things, was to make sure our civil activities, our civil disobedience, our good trouble is also put into a voice that they have to put on record, they have to pay attention to. Because now what you do with that is afterwards you are able to come back to, hey, look at all these people who put this on record and you haven't about it. We get to put that on them. So a lot of it is just collecting our power. I think when we as people recognize our own human individuality and then come together, it's truly impossible to stop us. Any revolution that's happened, any big changes happen is because people in the community and just the public as a whole have come together and collectively decided we are changing things. It has always worked. And I think that's what today was for. I think that's just the start, and I think I'm very proud to be here among some amazing people.
I mean, we saw city officials here from the community. Do you think that will end up at Raul Ruiz's desk and Washington and Congress to see what change could be made?
Yes. Whether that's going to be effective is just, I really don't know. My faith in Congressman Ruiz is just based on his action. So we'll have to see on January 30th whether he takes the proper action and votes to abolish ICE, which is what he needs to do, is exactly what he needs to do. These people are acting illegally. They are kidnapping. They are murdering people in our streets. And it is not conducive to a proper society for them to exist as a branch of government, so he needs to vote to abolish them. Whether that gets to him, we'll see. He's not ignorant that this meeting's happening, that this protest is happening. We've sent communications to his staffers, so he knows this is happening. What he does from that is truly up to him.
We're outside of City Hall still, where we're seeing many signs of "You have fallen," but we could see this one right here. Mr. President, we are not criminals. We are hardworking people, and we deserve respect. Stop deportations. Also in Spanish, Señor Presidente, nosotros no somos criminales, somos gente trabajadora y merecemos respeto para las deportaciones. Another one over here, the message, making the message clear, Mr. President, if you're deporting undocumented, deport your wife. Many suggesting that his wife, as an immigrant of the country, should be deported among everyone else. Following the march, many protesters remained at City Hall to address city leaders during the public comment portion of the City Council meeting. Speakers voiced concern about the recent enforcement and shared personal experiences and urged council members to take stronger stance in support of residents affected by the immigration policies.
I feel for someone who is afraid to walk out of their house, take their kid to school, go shopping. Fear should not be a part of our community.
We also spoke with local advocates and protesters who explained why they chose to attend and how they hope the message resonates beyond City Hall.
We want to ask what made you come out tonight.
So I'm part of a group called Code Pink, Coachella Valley. Just want to stand with my community and everything that's all atrocity that's going on with ICE.
I did go to the protest, and that's really what I knew that I was doing. I didn't realize that we were coming here to speak, but I think it's wonderful to go and have our voices heard here at City Hall.
Tell us about your shirt. It says abolish ICE and the ICE's theme. Tell us more about it.
Well, I think that even though ICE maybe had its purpose as far as immigration and customs enforcement, because of the way it has been practiced, I don't think it can survive. It will survive during this presidency because its purpose is cruelty and chaos, but after that I think it's going to have to be reimagined.
Do you think there will be change in ICE even after the Trump administration?
I think there will have to be change, but I'm hoping that will be changed for the better.
No.
I came out here to support the cause and to continue to speak out for people that are not able to. I was at the protest earlier and was there just to show support and also to support the organization and also the efforts to voice the concerns of what's going on in our country and to have our city stand behind to recognize that this is definitely something that needs to be addressed.
Local officials denounced that. They say they're not in support with that. Do you think we'll see change within the community, even though there might not be major change nationally within the next 3 years of this administration?
I think that if leadership does not step up and recognize the fact that there is constitutional law that's not being upheld, it starts at the local level. The Constitution is not just at the federal level. Our constitutional rights do encompass our local government, and it's their job to, show support for that, because it's, if it's one group this time, it'll be another group another time, and we've seen in history what has happened with that. No one's safe. And ultimately, as city government, that is their job, to make sure that they work with their police department to make sure that they are protecting us, because that is their job. And as city leaders, they are the ones in charge of our police department to make sure that they are upholding that Constitution for everyone in the community.
And I just want to really want to emphasize and speak to the young population, to the young people out in our community, that it is a little bit surprising that I know it was after school hours and I know it's a little late in the evening, but we need to see more young people fighting for their ancestors, for their parents, and for their future. And it's very, I don't know how much more strongly I can speak for that. I have my children out here. I've always been loud. I've always used my voice, and I encourage them to use their voice. And I just really want to encourage the community, your local high schools, just anyone and everyone. We need to be more active. We need to collaborate. We need to just really create some type of a community where you can feel safe, encouraged, maybe welcome. I don't know what it is. I don't know where we're at here locally in the community. You see some of the same people and maybe small groups. So what is it going to take? What we probably would want to know, because we're out here, but maybe we can support in that small way. What is needed? What do you young people, the young population in our community, what can we do to support you guys, to bring you guys forth and be our front line? And we need that strength from you guys. So
that wraps it up for this RNN special report. I'm Anthony Martinez in Indio.